Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts update video. Today I have kind of a little mishmash of things to show. I don't have a lot to show, but I do have a good variety. I have a Steelbook I imported from Germany. I have some old school VHS tapes. I picked up some old school vinyl. I have a trilogy of a independent horror film series I would like to share with you guys. And I have a couple of figures. And I want to kind of start with some of the things I've been watching during this pandemic, shut-in, lockdown, whatever you want to call it. Talk about some of the things I've been watching, and then maybe you guys can comment below and let me know how you've been getting through, how you've been making your time through this time that we're going through. And I have a feeling that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a lot of things that are opening up. I can feel it. It's starting to get nice outside here in Wisconsin. It's beautiful. I've been doing a lot of yard work, and I feel like we're ready to kind of get back to normal life here very, very soon. So I'm going to start with a couple of things I've been watching during this time to help keep my mind occupied and to keep a smile on my face, to keep a lighthearted spirit. And, you know, being that I was born in the 70s, so basically I grew up in the late 70s into the 80s, and I watched a lot of very good, very funny sitcoms over the years. Some of the best are from the 70s, in my opinion. This show here in front of you, this is Sanford, not to be confused with Sanford and Son. This is the show that was kind of a spin-off of the original Sanford and Son, which ended in 1977, the original series. This show takes place in 1980. It ran for 2 seasons, 1980 and 1981, and then it was canceled. And it was a very funny show. I have been watching this. There's 5 discs to the 2 seasons. It doesn't have an official DVD release, so this is kind of a fan-made set. And I'm going to show you a little bit about where you can get this stuff. The next 3 that I have you can pick up at this website here. It's 70s-tv.com. And this guy really does a good job. There's a lot of things over there that you can find from the 70s and 80s, even 60s. Things that never really had an official release, or you know, you might go over there and remember things that you completely forgot about over the years, and maybe something you want to revisit. So go check that guy out. It was about $24 for this set, which it's a little pricey, but keep in mind this does not have an official release. It's not high def quality, but it is very good audio and visual quality. You're not going to get subtitles, and you're not going to get anamorphic widescreen. It's basically presented like it was when it came out in the 80s. But it does have a crisp picture. The sound is great. And there's some recurring characters, some funny faces you may remember, and there's some new faces as well. Aunt Esther's in here. You can see her there. She's in a few episodes. Rollo is in this series, and Whitman Mayo, who played Grady, makes a couple appearances in here. So basically you get the 2 seasons, and I'll show you how they kind of house the discs in here. It's not exactly beautiful disc art, but it is better than just having a blank DVD. So the guy does a good job, and he ships very quick. I have one of the DVDs in my player still right now. I've been watching these. These are pretty funny. And Red Foxx was great. He was so good with the one-liners and the comebacks, and he wrote a lot of the dialogue in all of the series that he was in. And a lot of it kind of stems from his stand-up routines from the 50s and 60s, 70s. So this was a very good show. If you guys remember this, comment below. Let me know what you guys have been watching to keep your minds occupied during this time. And so that is the first one. That is Sanford. The next one is a program in between the original Sanford and Son series, which ended in '77, and Sanford, which started in 1980. Red Fox kind of had a contract dispute with some of the creators of the Sanford and Son show, so he did not plan on coming back. And he kind of went out on his own and did his own thing, and this was where he went and did the Red Fox Comedy Hour, which only lasted a season. I don't even think it quite made a full season. And I don't remember watching this as a kid, so I picked this one up from the 70stv.com. I haven't opened it yet, but this is the complete original broadcast of that Red Fox Comedy Hour. I'm looking forward to digging into this. And I think this was only like $10 for this one. So that was from the same company. That was from 70s-tv.com. And then another spin-off. This one I got from, I believe I got this on Amazon. This is The Best of Grady. This was a spin-off of the original Sanford and Son when Red Fox was having contract disputes and he walked off the set. Damon Wilson, who played Lamont, did not really want to come back and reprise his role. So they kind of went in a different direction with some of the familiar characters from the series. And so this was another short-lived show. I think this only lasted a season or so. And I believe this is the complete series, except it's missing the Christmas special because there was some kind of contract, some kind of rights issues. They couldn't include the Christmas episode on this DVD series, so that's why they call it The Best of Grady instead of The Complete Grady, because it's missing that one episode. And I haven't delved into this one yet, but it is 224 minutes running time. This is an actual pressed disc, so this is not a fan-made or a burned copy like the other two were. But those are from 70s-tv.com. I guess I'll show a little recap and then I'll move on to the next little grouping of things I'm going to show. With the Vinegar Syndrome halfway to Black Friday sale coming up in about a week or so, I've been kind of holding off on some of the titles over there, but there are a couple I picked up in this update video. And the first one is The Vineyard, starring James Hong. I watched this a couple nights ago. It looks really good. The movie, I did see this one once before. It's not a great movie by any means, but it's not a bad movie either. It's about I guess you call him, he's not really a scientist, but he kind of is. He's a winemaker and a film producer who lives on an island, and he's 1,000 years old, and there's a reason why he stays so young and he stays alive after being 1,000 years old, because there's something in the wine. He invites people to his island. Things go on. I'm not going to give too much away because I don't like spoiling movies for people. But there are some pretty good monster scenes in here, some pretty cool zombie scenes. This edition is beautiful. James Hong, I guess you love him or you hate him. I'm not really the biggest James Hong fan. I think he's kind of stiff as an actor, but a lot of people seem to really love him. But I mean, he's been around forever. I think he's still alive. He's in his mid-90s. He's still alive. So maybe there was something to that wine that he was drinking. But I wanted to make sure I got this before these slipcovers sold out, because I think they only had a couple hundred left. So I scooped it up now while I could. And a lot of the other stuff that I'm waiting for hopefully won't sell out before the Black Friday, halfway to Black Friday sale, because I do plan on picking up maybe 6 to 8, maybe 10 titles, if possible. We'll see. We'll see how the money situation is. But that's The Vineyard. Not a bad watch. It's still enjoyable. I may not watch it again now for a while, if I ever do again. But the next one is a blind buy. I was familiar with the film. I mean, I'm aware of the film. I just have never seen it. And this is called Secta Siniestra, which I guess translates to the Sinister Sect, or I think it also went by the Bloody Sect. And it sounded really cool. It comes with the slipcover. It's about a female who gets impregnated by a Satanist's baby, the devil's baby. And it's one of those type of films from the 70s. I guess they're kind of fun watches. I've never seen this one, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. It looks really cool. It's all region. If anybody has seen this, and if you want to chime in down below, go ahead. No spoilers, please. And kind of the big boy, I was debating whether to get this or not, because these movies are not very good, but this box set is really cool. And this is the Amityville, the Cursed Collection. It was $20 cheaper than the listing price was. I'm not sure if it was designed to be that way, if that's just their way of trying to make it look like you're getting a good deal, or if it was a poor seller and they really did drop it $20. But I think like the initial price was $79.99 and they knocked it down to $59.99. So I swung for it. I went for it. But in this set, you get Amityville 1992, It's About Time. These movies are not very good. They're still kind of fun watches, but they're not anything to write home about. This one obviously was from 1992, like it said in the title. Some of these I've seen, some I haven't. This is Amityville 4, The Evil Escapes. I think this one was from 1989. It was. And these are all Region A, by the way. Next one was Amityville Dollhouse from 1996. And this is when it started to get pretty bad, I think. Even more bad than the previous bad. And this is Amityville, A New Generation, 1993. They're a little bit out of order, but I don't think you really have to watch these in order. But I always do, just in case. But there is I guess I kind of glossed over the box. It's a really beautiful box. Looks like the Amityville house on the outside. Got kind of blood dripping near the roof. Top of the box just shows the roof of the house. And there are the 4 editions. So we will keep moving on. Just one more little side note about this. I think this was limited to 5,000 and it's only available on their website. So if you're interested in this, you might want to check it out. I'm not sure if this is going to be around for the Black Friday sale. I think they still had quite a few copies left, so you may get lucky, and who knows if this will even be part of their sale. They might just keep it at the regular price. Sometimes they don't list everything on their site for sale, just certain titles. So this may be one that you might want to pick up sooner rather than later. So that was my little Vinegar Syndrome haul for the past several weeks. So the next 3 that I'm going to show you are a trilogy from director David Mankey. And I bought these on eBay. I bought these all 3 directly from Mr. Mankey, the director of the films. I will leave a link down below if you guys are interested in going to check out his. Actually, you know what? I think he left a business card in one of these, so we'll just go with that. But he did sign this on the cover there in silver Sharpie. And this is a backwoods slasher about a group of teens. I didn't finish the first one yet. I got about halfway through. I got really, really tired. The day that I watched this, I had been doing a lot of yard work, and I was laying sod and doing a lot of digging in the backyard. I was really tired. So I had zonked out right in the middle of this film, and it had nothing to do with the film. I was just tired, but looking forward to getting back into this. But there's a couple other signatures. I'm not sure. I just noticed that one now. I didn't even notice it before. But these are burned on demand, I guess. These are burned copies. You do get disc art. You can see it has that purple tinge to it. That means it's a burned copy. And I'll show you the card here in a second where you can order these if you're interested. But the premise of the film, it's about a group of teens who go to the backwoods on a camping trip to get away, kind of like a little vacation. And there's what did they say, was a crazed lumberjack who was strung out on LSD or something like that. A psychopathic murderer roaming the woods back there. But it's Dark Shade Films. There is David Mankey as the owner and the director of the film. You can find him on Facebook, or you can email him. Or if you go to eBay and you look for these titles, you'll find them. He's the only one selling these. And I think they're $12.99 a piece for these DVDs. And it's free shipping. I believe the free shipping is for the US only. I'm not sure about that. But you can get part 1 and part 2. This is called Dark Shade Creek 2, The Next Night, unrated. And again, David Mankey signed it in gold Sharpie. I guess I should mention too that the first one was from 2012. This one is from 2014. And the third one, also signed, is called Trail to Hell. And this one's from 2017. Keep in mind too that these are very low budget. kind of shot on video type films, which I happen to really enjoy these. They have kind of a charm to them, and I'm a big fan of the backwoods slashers anyway, so I'm glad to own these, and I'm looking forward to checking them out. If anybody has seen any of these, leave a comment below, let me know. And that is my little trilogy for the Dark Shade Creek series. Now here is the latest from Wild East, and this is the twin billing of Klaus Kinski and the Beast and Thou Shalt Not Kill. And this is volume 64, Spine 73, Steve and Ted double feature. And this is one I pre-ordered about, I'd say like a month or so ago. And with this COVID-19 and everything, everything was kind of backed up. And Wild East wasn't shipping for a while, which is understandable, you know, safety first. But they finally have started to ship, and I got this one last week, finally. So glad to own this, add it to the collection. Still now to this day, I'm still missing one title in my collection to fill it. So hopefully at some point I'll be able to find that for a good price. If not, it's just a trailer compilation DVD. So I'm not, you know, hell-bent on getting it, and I'm not going to be completely disappointed if I never get it. But it would be nice to get that, to complete that collection. But there is The Beast and Thou Shalt Not Kill. The next title here is another addition to my Hanna-Barbera collection, and this is Wally Gator, 1962 to 1963. I believe there was 52 episodes, and the Wally Gator was voiced by Dawes Butler, who was a Hall of Fame voice actor. Also had voices from Don Messick, who was another great voice actor, one of the best. And this will bring back some Saturday morning cartoon memories for a lot of you, I'm sure. I picked up a couple of figures. This is from NECA. I'm sure probably most of you who are watching this don't have any idea who SOD is, the Stormtroopers of Death. It's a thrash metal band from the early mid-'80s that was comprised of 3 members of Anthrax, including Scott Ian, who designed the look for Sergeant D, and also Bill Milano, who went on to form MOD after this. That was Method of Destruction. And after the 1985 album from Anthrax, Spreading the Disease, they kind of worked on this little pet project, and this is the CD I have. I originally had the tape back in the day, the cassette tape, and a lot of the kids in my area where I grew up listened to this, and there was a lot of skaters and thrash punk stuff like that going on in my neighborhood. So I was exposed to this at a very young age, and it's kind of a satirical thrash metal. There's a lot of songs on here that were controversial, but you know, like for example, Kill Yourself, Speak English or Die. Freddy Krueger was on here, Milk. There's a lot of really good songs on here. Fuck the Middle East, pardon my language, but that's the title of the song. But anyway, Scott Ian, who was the frontman for Anthrax, this was his pet project. He put this group together with 2 other fellow bandmates from Anthrax and Bill Milano, and he designed that little, I guess that's kind of like their mascot, Sergeant D. That's one of the songs in here. And NECA came out with a Sergeant D figure, complete with the smoking cigar. He's got his helmet, his Anarchy helmet, and he's got his army fatigues. Got a couple of assault weapons. And I really wanted to grab this. This one came out, I think, in December or January. December of 2019 or January of 2020. So this has been out for a couple months now. But I can see something like this selling out, and once it does, it's going to go for some big bucks. So I decided to pick it up now rather than wait on it. It's a really nice box. If you guys haven't had a chance to ever listen to Stormtroopers of Death, I recommend checking it out. If you like metal, thrash metal from the 80s, you'll love it. Some pretty funny songs on here too. So that is Sergeant D from the Stormtroopers of Death. The next one is a comic book character that was kind of an homage to the golden age of comics from the 40s, from during like World War II era. This is a more modern character called the Sea Ghost, put out by Nemo Toys. And this is a modern rendition. The website used to be called CaptainEli.com, but that website doesn't exist anymore. But if you Google the undersea adventures of Captain Eli, there's a web page you can go to, and there's I think the artist who did the 2 comic books also does, I think he brews soda and he brews beer, and you can get this figure for $15 on his website. And I thought I would get that. It's really cool. It kind of, it's a throwback to the 1940s with like your Captain America and the different heroes from back then. I like the way that this looks. So for $14.95, I thought it was a good deal, and I wanted to add it to the collection. And Sea Ghost was created by Joe Piscopo. You can find out more about it if you Google it. And there's a couple of comic books you can buy also. I bought a couple of Red Fox party records, and I bought these a long time ago, but they were stuck in the mail for a while. And these were going to be included in my last update, but they weren't here yet. So I've been kind of sitting on these now for a couple weeks again, and I'm going to just show them now and get them out of the way. These are the original pressings of Red Fox Fun from Dudo Records. I also picked up He's Funny That Way, Dudo Records. That was one of the first labels that ever signed Red Fox. It was an all-black label for all-black entertainers back in the day. I believe that was back in the 50s. And we have Burlesque Humor, also from Dudo. Yeah, I picked these up on eBay. I can smell that kind of, brings me back. It has kind of like almost a musty smell when you have old original vinyl sitting in these cardboard sleeves. Even though I put new plastic on these, you could still get a whiff of kind of, every once in a while you get a whiff of that vinyl, and it kind of brings you back to when this was the way to listen to music or records. See, here's this is how they used to do it back in the day. If you couldn't find these at your dealer, you can send out for, they would give you the address to Dudo Records. You can, order directly from them. Snail mail back then. And then here's the last one from Dudo. This is Red Fox Naughties But Goodies. And these are some of his very earliest works. There's Dootsy Williams, he was the founder of Dudo Records. And if you watch the Red Fox documentary, you can find it here on YouTube, and I think it's about an hour and a half long. It's really good. If you're a Red Fox fan, you'll definitely enjoy it. But it talks about the segment in his life when he was at Dudo Records, and he ended up leaving. He got too big for them. But that was the 4 LPs I got for this update. I picked up a Steelbook from Germany. This is one that I used to have, and I don't know how I did it, but at one time I had 2 of these. One was open and one was sealed. And I think I had one listed on eBay, and I think I gave the other one away in a contest, and I wasn't really thinking. I planned on keeping one and getting rid of the other one, but I ended up getting rid of both. So I had to repick this one up. This is the Steelbook from Second Sight in the UK. This is the 40th anniversary 2-disc Blu-ray. And again, it was one I had, but I got rid of both, so I had to re-add it to the collection. So that's that. I picked up a couple of VHS titles that I needed to complete my Friday the 13th VHS collection. And I was kind of looking for this one for a little while. I was not in a hurry to get it because it's not hard to find, and you can get these pretty cheap. But a lot of the ones that they had listed on eBay were pretty beat up, pretty ripped, stains, all different things like that. The VHS market still is unstable because one guy will sell a really tore up copy of this for 20 bucks, and another guy will sell one brand new shrink wrapped for 10 bucks. So I mean, the longer you wait, the longer you look, you'll find better deals. So what I found was this one was going for about 10 bucks on average, and I ended up getting it, Freddy vs. Jason, with, I wasn't really looking for these titles, but this came as a lot, and the lot was 99 cents plus $10 shipping. So I got these 4 for 11 bucks instead of just getting 1 for 10 bucks. I got the original Saw, which is like brand new. And that's the best entry into that franchise, in my opinion. So I got Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Again, it was very crisp. And I got a Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. All 3 of these for 99 cents. I was the only bidder, and $10 to ship these 4. So I thought I made out pretty good, even though I wasn't necessarily looking for these 3 at all. I'll take those. It's almost like getting them for free, considering that this was going for 10 anyways. And staying on the Jason VHS, I got the Friday the 13th. This is the remake from 2009. Now this is a fan-made box because VHS ceased to exist in 2008. They stopped making new VHS. So this would have never got an official VHS release. But somebody out there made a beautiful copy of this, and I'm going to take this out of plastic so you can see the tape. Even the tape looks beautiful. I mean, and it's crisp. It looks like it's brand new. Had to get it just to add it to the collection. So here we have the outer shell here, the cardboard box. You open it up, and they even have a Paramount. I don't know if you can see that with the flash. You got the Friday the 13th, 2009 color, 106 minutes, rated R. And I'm glad to have this in the collection. So now I have them all. And I will do a little quick recap of what they all look like side by side. So there is the group photo, and that's a beautiful thing. I really like the way that looks together. I got 2 of the part 1. And then Freddy vs. Jason from 2003, and the, I guess, reboot from 2009. So that is the Friday the 13th VHS collection whole. The next title was a Shout Select title I picked up on Amazon, and this is Car Wash, starring Richard Pryor and George Carlin. And this is a funny 70s comedy. Low budget. I enjoy this movie. I haven't popped it in. I have seen this before, but I haven't popped this one in yet. It's still sealed, but looking forward to checking this out. And I've been trying to watch some comedy lately, which kind of brings me to my next question, I guess, of you guys is, what do you recommend? Which YouTuber should I be watching? Which TV series or movies? What should I be watching? You guys give me some recommendations. I'm always open to suggestions. So. And then with the sad news of Twilight Time going out of business, I picked this up on their website for 15 bucks. And this is a 7-Up, so I'm not familiar with this movie. My buddy Chuck Sang suggested I pick this up, and so I did. I went over to they had some pretty good deals. There was one you could get 10 titles for 115 bucks, but I went through and there wasn't 10 titles I really wanted. I mean, there's 10 titles I wanted, but I don't really feel like I need to grab those right away right now. So I think these are titles you're going to be able to pick up for years at a good price, even though they're going out of business. But Screen Archives is going to be getting their catalog of movies, and you can still order from them. And there's always eBay if you want to pick up titles. But it's sad to see Twilight Time fold. But this is the only Twilight Time I picked up from the sale. And then, just to kind of recap, I did a video for this yesterday. This was a nice package from my buddy Donato in Canada, good friend of mine. And he sent me In Search of Darkness. If you want to hear more of my thoughts about this, you can go back to the unboxing video. I'm just going to kind of flip through these really quick. And he sent me Season 1 and Season 2 of Holliston. They're both signed by Adam Green. in the black Sharpie. Very nice. Wanted to include this in the update haul. I got the Wailing. I'm going to watch this one tonight. True Grit, excellent Western, modern day Western, a great remake. And one that I'm going to go into blind because I've never seen or heard about this. It's Jojo Rabbit. And I got some comments yesterday that this is a good movie from some people, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. And then a couple weeks ago, I made a video about the trilogy for the Malevolence films. Stephen Mina, I believe I was pronouncing his name Mena, and I guess it's actually pronounced Mina. He's the director of these films. And you can still get these for $24.95, I believe, all three of them, if you go to the website. And again, if you want more info about these, how I feel about these movies, go back and check out my video on these. But I got Malevolence, Malevolence 2 Bereavement, and Malevolence 3 with slipcovers. They are all signed in gold Sharpie. And these were updates from the DVD and the Blu-ray that I had. So it's a lazy Sunday here at the Walnuts compound. I'm going to show you guys out the window really quick. It's a really gloomy, rainy day. You can see the birds are eating seed. I got a couple of bird feeders out there, but you can see that it's just swampy and muddy out there. There's not a whole lot going on here in the great state of Wisconsin. Oh, I guess I forgot to show you guys a couple of masks I picked up as well. I think I already showed you the Pretty Lady mask. That was from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 1. This was the grandma or old lady mask, they call it, from Part 2. There is Chop Top from Part 2. And there is the Leatherface mask from Part 2, which I think is my favorite. You can see that this was a little bit, they kind of went a little bit overboard because it was more of a black comedy, but you can see that they have noses and ears around his throat. I like the little white whiskers for the goatee, for the partial goatee for the face that was made. And these are all from Trick or Treat Studios, and they're really cool. Come with their little tags. This is from Part 2, Chop Top Sawyer. So I wanted to share those with you guys. And other than that, I think that's about it. We're going to wrap this video up. So give me some suggestions. I've been really bored lately, trying to keep myself occupied. And I keep telling myself this is almost over, and I really do believe it is almost over. So happy thoughts, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Leave any comments below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're inclined to do so, share it. And I'd like to get more subscribers at some point. Take care, guys. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.